Anyone with a little bit of extra knowledge in crypto will probably have heard of proof of work when it comes to Bitcoin. It's a consensus mechanism, the way to verify BTC transactions, prevent double spending, and mint new coins. But proof of work isn't the only game in Crypto Town. Other crypto networks use proof of stake instead. Many experts say that proof of work is a better, more efficient way to operate a blockchain. But is it? And what are the differences between proof of work and proof of stake anyway? And to fully understand this film, I'm gonna advise you to go watch our video on proof of work first. And if you already caught up on that and you just wanna skip through that, well, come on, get ready, because I got everything you need to know about proof of stake coming right up. All right, before we go any further, don't forget to like this video. Keep showing your support to the channel. Just hit that thumbs up button, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get started talking about proof of stake. The beauty of cryptocurrencies is that they're decentralized. They're not under the control of financial institutions like banks. That means they're trustless and no single entity is in charge. So you do need a way for all the machines, devices, people, and nodes on a network to agree to one version of the blockchain. Proof of work was the method of choice for early cryptos, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. In proof of work, miners all over the world compete against each other to solve complex mathematical puzzles in verifying transactions. But that uses large amounts of energy, and the environmental impact of cryptos that use proof of work is a pretty hot topic. Also, proof of work mining requires specialized equipment, and transaction speeds are slow while the costs are high. And it's no wonder that a few years after cryptocurrencies first appeared, an alternative consensus mechanism appeared. Welcome to proof of stake. With proof of stake, owners of a particular cryptocurrency stake some of their coins in exchange for the chance to check new blocks of transactions and add them to the blockchain. And then for their efforts, they beg a reward in the shape of some more of that crypto. So, in proof of stake, any person can validate block transactions based on a number of native tokens that they hold, rather than based on computing power as it works with proof of work. This means proof of stake is considered to be a much more energy efficient system and has gained popularity as a result. Proof of stake originated in 2012 with peer coins, PPC, and since became the go-to consensus method for altcoins, including Solana, Cardano, Tezos, Algorand, and Polkadot. Nearly every project launched after 2017 offers some form of staking. And now, the big name on the list is, of course, Ethereum. The long-planned Ethereum 2.0 upgrade, referred as the merge, sees its protocol shift from proof of work model to a proof of stake model. Staking is when you pledge a certain amount of coins native to a particular network to be eligible to validate transactions. To get started, you first need to obtain coins of a proof of stake cryptocurrency and then decide how much you like to stake for your chance to become a validator on that network. When a block of transactions is ready to be processed, the network randomly chooses one of these validators to review the block and check if the transactions in the block are accurate. If so, the validator adds the block to the blockchain and gets paid in an amount of that crypto in proportion to the amount they've staked. Let's look at a quick example. So Cardano. Anyone who owns ADA can stake it and set up their own validator node. When Cardano needs to verify blocks of transactions, its Ouroboros protocol selects a validator. The validator checks the block, adds it and receives more Cardano for their trouble. But be warned, you gotta watch out. If a validator proposes to add a block that has inaccurate information, they lose some of their staked holdings as a penalty. All right, so let me tell you something here. So the golden rule in proof of stake is pretty much the more you stake, the more validating power that you have. And although anyone that's staking crypto could theoretically be chosen as the validator, those odds become very low if you're staking a very small amount. For example, if your coins make up, let's say 0.001% of the total amount that has been staked, the likelihood of you being chosen as the validator would be 0.001%. That means that most users delegate their stake to a validator or maybe even a stake pool operator rather than learning the technicalities and buying the hardware necessary to run a pool themselves. The staking pool's owner sets up the validator node and a group of people pool their tokens or coins together for a better chance of winning new blocks. Rewards are then split among the pool's participants. When users delegate their assets to a pool, the assets do not leave their wallet. Instead, their voting power is transferred to the operator, who in turn validates or votes on their behalf. Being a validator or a stake pool operator can be pretty lucrative. They generally receive more of a payout than the delegator in exchange for doing more work like running the node, keeping it online, and verifying transactions. They also mostly charge their own little cut, a commission, so take notes on that. Now here's a little note for you. It's very important to choose a trustworthy validator or pool operator. And depending on the protocol, you can lose your rewards or even your staked assets if the validator performs bad actions, such as not being online, failing to properly validate, or some sort of collision. Some proof-of-stake networks require that minimum amount of stake, while others don't. Like, for example, you need at least an 88 ADA to delegate on Cardano, but there's no minimum to become a validator. And conversely, there's no minimum delegation on Polkadot, but you do have to be in the top 16 of your pool in order to receive a payout. In order to be a validator on a network, you need to stake 350 DOT. And you'll need about 32 Ethereum to be a validator on Ethereum. And you only need to stake 0.1 Sol to get started on Solana directly from wallets like Exodus or exchanges such as Kraken. But staking Sol as a validator is more difficult as you need expensive equipment and large amounts of crypto to put up. The environmental aspect is key. Green credentials are increasingly important as nations around the world tackle climate change. Since proof of stake doesn't require validators to all solve complex equations, it's a much more eco-friendly way to verify transactions than proof of work. Because it takes much less processing power, proof of stake is more efficient for assets that have many transactions like those NFTs. Apart from the environmental factor, cryptocurrencies that use proof of stake are able to process transactions cheaper and much more quickly, which is crucial for scalability. Proof of work cryptos like Bitcoin and Ethereum 1.0 tend to have high transactions costs due to network congestion, which is tied to the network speed. Both of these networks have very low transactions per second. It doesn't take a lot for the network to become congested and create a situation where you have to pay high fees in order to push your transaction through quickly. But with proof of stake, each validator or pool becomes a node through which transactions can be processed, effectively increasing the throughput and network speed. And to put in context, Bitcoin processes an average of 4.6 transactions per second. In the fiat world, Visa around 1,700 transactions per second. But when it comes to proof of stake, Solana, for example, 50,000 transactions per second, and low fees to boot that. And let's not forget, proof of stake gives investors the chance to earn rewards from their crypto, providing a form of passive income. Average returns are about, let's say, 5%, but it can be much higher. Polkadot, for example, is among the best staking coins, which has an average annual return of 14%. Oh yeah. Okay, I would be lying if I said that it is proven in terms of security as proof of work. Well, it isn't. And theoretically, the 51% attack is a concern when proof of stake is used, but it is actually very unlikely. A 51% attack is when someone controls 51% of a cryptocurrency and uses that majority to alter the blockchain. But you would have to actually own 51% and then lose those staked cryptos to do that. No, that's not gonna happen, I guess. But one other criticism of proof of stake is that validators with large holdings can have excessive influence on transaction verification. Because many proof of stake networks require a minimum stake, that could lead to more centralized crypto environment with large companies earning more rewards from staking. Proof of stake is also more complex than proof of work. Refining the mechanism for Ethereum proof of stake merge has taken years of research and development. Consider that while it's possible to unstake your crypto earnings, it can take at least 7 days for certain platforms to release them back to you. And in addition, some top proof of stake cryptocurrency require locking up staked coins for a minimum amount of time, and nothing else can be done with these assets in the meantime. Polkadot, for example, has a 28-day lockup period before you can get your hands back on your locked up Polkadot DOT tokens. So tell me, what's it gonna be? Who you got? Proof of stake or proof of work? While proof of work is the most traditional method for protecting blockchain projects, Ethereum's shift to proof of stake will be an incredible opportunity to put that method at a larger test. Recently, we did see an attempt by the European Union to ban proof of work projects in favor of the more energy efficient proof of stake method. While that attempt actually did fail, the pushback against proof of work models from world governments is worth considering, especially given the global concerns over energy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget, of course, check out our other films on the world of crypto right here on Currency.com.